Hey guys, I just wanted to say real quick before I start the video that I appreciate you guys so much for supporting my channel. Seriously, every single one of you. Also, I just made an Instagram, so be sure to follow me there to keep up with things video-wise, or maybe even to see a little bit of my personal life and to interact with me. Also, I'm always looking for new friends, so don't hesitate to shoot me a message. I'll leave a link in the description as well. Thanks again for watching. I love October and the months around it. Spooky season has always been my favorite time of the year. It was Halloween night, so my group of friends and I were really excited. We had been waiting for weeks for Halloween to finally come around. I was only 14, and all four of my friends were roughly the same age as me. We all ranged from 13 to 15 years old. This was like 10 years ago, but it's a story I still like to tell from time to time. My friends and I had been waiting for 7:30 to finally roll around so we could finally go out and walk around the neighborhood to get our candy. My parents were scolding me and my friends to not knock on the door or to trick or treat at all at one specific house. We didn't understand why, and I didn't really care if I'm being honest. You know how teenagers are. Goes through one year and out the other year sometimes. I reassured her that I would make sure none of us went up to that house. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what house she was talking about, but I just pretended like I did so we could finally be on our way. I mean, every second of not trick or treating was another second we were wasting our time not getting any candy. Every year, we would always try to get the most candy as fast as possible. It was sort of a competition between my friends and I. We were finally off to the first house right next door. We were also excited that after only maybe 10 or 15 houses, we ended up splitting into two different groups. It was me, Jimmy, and Kyle. Josh and Connor ended up doing their own thing for a bit, but we ended up running into them maybe 30 minutes later into the night, anyways. Usually, I always listen to my parents, but honestly, I thought they were just trying to play a Halloween scare on me. What's the worst that could happen anyway? There's five of us total, and we'd be able to defend ourselves if anything were to happen. Whoa, look at that house, said Jimmy. Yeah, it looks really cool. We all agreed and headed over to it. It was like a smaller size Victorian style house, so it was extra creepy on Halloween. And as we were all walking up the steps, wait, Kyle said, that's the house your parents told us not to go to. The house on the end of Bay Street. And this is exactly what your mom described to us. Come on, let's turn around. Dude, are you kidding me? Stop being a pansy, I said. I've lived in this neighborhood here all my life. It's not that big of a deal. What are you, scared? There was absolutely no light coming from the house at all. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous, but I was really curious. As we all were, we made our way up to the porch finally, and we were all cracking sarcastic jokes. We were talking about how it looks abandoned and that it's probably haunted, and how a demon is probably going to jump out and take Kyle for being so scared. I knocked on the door, and we all said trick or treat. We waited. Hello, trick or treat. Give us our candy, old man. Get the hell off my porch, a strange man said, coming from inside. We all ran. Okay, yeah, I was a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, but I thought it would be funny if we came back a few minutes later to mess with him further. Yeah, thinking about this now, I know it was unbelievably immature, but I've grown up since then completely. We finished trick or treating, and I said my goodbyes to my friends. Josh ended up staying the night at my house, though. We thought it would be hilarious if we snuck out after my parents fell asleep and went back to that house, so that's what we did. On our way there, we were trying to figure out what we would do. We didn't know what else to do other than to ding dong ditch the house. You know where you knock on someone's door and run away and hide before they come out and find you? Yeah, I used to love doing that with my friends. This was more intense, though. This house had a crap ton of stairs we had to run down first before we could get away. Josh and I both counted 3, 2, 1. We both banged on the door at the same time, like 5 times each, and yelled trick or treat as loud and annoying as possible. We booked it down those stairs. I almost tripped and fell, but luckily I caught myself before I did. The strange man came out with a rifle and said, "You goddamn kids, y'all better not live to see another day." He pointed it at us and actually shot. He shot like 4 or 5 times. He didn't land any of his shots on us at all, thankfully. We were able to walk away unscathed physically, but mentally, yeah, I think that screwed me up for life in some way. We ran home immediately and we couldn't decide if we should tell my parents what happened. We both decided that we had to, even if it meant we would get in trouble. We told my parents everything and they called the police. The police showed up and arrested the man, but the charges ended up getting dropped because he was deemed mentally insane. I was too young to understand then, but apparently the old man living there was a retired Navy SEAL vet who had severe post-traumatic stress disorder and was into the beginning stages of dementia. Apparently, my parents kind of grew up around him because their parents knew him very well. My grandpa actually served with him in the Navy. The old man got sent to some sort of group home where he will live the rest of his life. My mom sent me to boot camp for the next 3 summers, and I was never allowed to go trick or treating again, nor was I allowed to hang out with Josh ever again. 2 years ago, me and my girlfriend went to this haunted house that was like an hour away. We searched through Google for the best haunted houses near me. We thought it would be like a fun Halloween day. We went to this one specifically because it had the most 5-star reviews out of all the other haunted houses that showed up on Google under 2 hours away. This was not what we thought it was going to be at all. We found that out almost as soon as we got there. It wasn't one of those haunted houses that you go through, pay to have people scare you with fake props and such. No, this place was actually haunted. When we got there, we realized it was like an entertainment museum. This building is unoccupied now, of course, but it used to be a hotel of some sort that also used to be a mansion before that in the 1800s. We were told that a lot of bad things have happened here: death, abuse, misery, suicide, and even unexplainable murder mysteries. We were accompanied by a group and a museum docent who was showing us around and telling us the history of the place. You were allowed to roam by yourself or stay with the group. So my girlfriend and I decided we want to explore it for ourselves. So we headed off and did our own thing. This place was gigantic. I mean, when I say a mansion, I mean a mansion. Huge staircases, gigantic chandeliers everywhere, historical paintings, ruby red carpets. I mean, it was insane. I couldn't imagine how much this place was worth. We found our way to the basement. Holy shit, was this place creepy. I've never been one for believing in ghosts or stuff like that, but after this night, you cannot convince me otherwise that there isn't some sort of energy that we as humans cannot or just do not see in certain places at certain times. I know you're probably thinking I sound crazy, but just hear me out. Walking down those steps and hearing the floorboards creak every step of the way down only added to the eeriness. I had this impending doom feeling, almost like my soul left my body and was trying to push me back up the stairs because that's how gut wrenching it felt. When I made it all the way down the stairs and took my first look at the basement, I'll try to describe what I saw, but really it would never even come close to doing justice for just how disturbing I felt. I paused. The door behind us slammed. I immediately turned around and looked up the stairs. Haley? What? Hello? What the hell? She was gone. There's no possible way that she could have been gone. She was with me holding my hand the entire time. I ran up the stairs and ran around looking for her. I couldn't believe what was happening. I couldn't find her anywhere. I called her and she picked up almost immediately. Hey, you okay? Where are you at? Haley said. I've been waiting for you for like 10 minutes. What? What do you mean? You were just with me. We were just going to check the downstairs area out. Huh? What are you talking about, Alex? She said. I asked her to stop messing with me and that I'm really freaking out and that it's not funny anymore. She finally told me where she was. Stay put, I said. So I angrily hung up the phone and made my way to her. I could tell that she wasn't lying and that she was telling the truth. But I don't know how to explain it because she was with me until that moment I turned around downstairs. She promised on my life and our whole entire relationship that she has no idea what I was talking about. I told her we had to leave and that I felt like I was going insane. I explained everything to her on the way home. Luckily, she believed me for the most part, I think. That place is so messed up. I cannot even begin to explain how confusing that was for her and I. I'm pretty sure Haley thinks I'm absolutely stone cold nuts. Sometimes I wonder if I am too. And honestly, I don't blame her. I mean, how else could I describe what happened that night? To me, she was there the whole time, but to her, she wasn't. And I know what you're thinking, that maybe I have some psychological or severe psychiatric disorder or something of that order. Well, I don't. And I've never had any sort of mental illness at all through my life. And I have also been evaluated 3 or 4 times now by mental health professionals who said there was nothing wrong with me mentally. I still don't know what to make of this, but it disturbs me greatly to even think about. Okay, so this story took place last year towards the end of October, just before Halloween. Do you know that seasonal fall feeling you get in the US? More specifically, the Midwest states. It's such a different feeling than the rest of the year. The cooler weather, with the higher mile per hour winds, and the sun not being out as much, just adds to the ambient feeling I'm trying to describe, especially at night, or dusk even. And with Halloween only being a few days away, it just adds to the eeriness. I love this time of year though, so I'm not complaining at all. I live in a small city and I live in the downtown area of it, in a medium sized neighborhood. I have a car, but my house is walking distance between almost everything I need to get to daily. I ride my bike a lot through town, all around the area. I have a route that I usually do once or twice a week. It's probably a 4.5 mile bike ride. Sometimes when I'm really bored and don't feel like biking, I'll walk the route instead. Sometimes I'll do a light jog here and there as well, but I have severe asthma, so I try not to overdo anything. One night when I was riding, it was a little bit later than usual. I was making my way to this park that I like to ride through sometimes. It has a nice park trail I like to go through. The park closes at dusk, and it was already dark outside. I knew it was close, but I felt like it wasn't a huge deal and that it couldn't hurt, so I rode through anyways. After all, I've done it many times with no trouble at all. I have reflective lights on my bike and a flashlight geared to the front of my handlebars as well. All of a sudden, it became clearer as I was getting closer. There was a strange figure in the distance. As it got even closer, I was able to shine my flashlight at whatever the shadowy figure was. Well, it wasn't just a shadow. It was a human being dressed up as a clown. What the hell do you want? Who are you? There was pure silence for a moment. Dude, seriously, please stop. This time a bit more demanding. Dude, I'm not going to tell you again. Get the hell away from me. I was trying to seem like I wasn't scared, but deep down I was shitting myself. He started walking towards me slowly. Right then and there, I turned around and booked it all the way home. Thank God I was on my bike. Had I been walking that night, it would have been nothing short of a foot race. I made it back home safe and sound. This still gives me the heebie jeebies to think about. What makes this even scarier was there was not one single car at the park, so more than likely it was just me and him there. Why else would he be there alone? Was he even alone? I don't know what's worse, but there is no single doubt in my mind he was going to try and hurt me.